And where the Oklahoma Sooners just had a great spring game where we're not going to overreact, they did get a commitment from a 4-star safety, a top 150 player in the country, in Jaydan Hardy out of Lewisville, Texas. And it's pretty significant, something we got to talk about. But before we dive into it, please go ahead and hit that like or the subscribe button, preferably the subscribe button. But jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Are you excited about the recent commitment of the 4-star safety out of Lewisville, Texas, Jaydan Hardy? So Jaydan Hardy announced before the spring game on Saturday that he was committed to the University of Oklahoma, and this is another big win for Jay Valai and Brandon Hall. If you guys aren't familiar, they got some big wins in the last cycle, more notably Peyton Bowen. But yes, these dudes, they are recruiters, and we are glad to have them with the Oklahoma Sooners. But Jaydan Hardy, a 5'11", 170-pound safety out of Lewisville, Texas, a guy that provides, I think, pretty good production on the football field. In 2020, in his first year as a starter as a freshman, had 61 tackles, one forced fumble, one fumble recovery, 2 interceptions. In 2021, he only ended up playing 6 games due to an injury, but 24 total tackles, 5 pass breakups. It's going to be important to remember here in a second. 1 fumble recovery and 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. In 2022, he had 42 total tackles, 7 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 interception. So, what are some of the things that stick out to me right there? Well, before we get into the film, one of the things that sticks out to me about his stats from 2021 to 2022 is in 2022, he only played half a season. So, pretty much half his numbers, which tells you he was on pace to probably do a little bit better in 2021. And with the strong 2023 senior season, Jaydan Hardy could continue to rise in the rankings. And that's going to be something, though, Oklahoma Sooner fans, you got to be okay with. You got to be okay with your safety that's currently committed to you, going out there, balling out, rising through those rankings. Listen, I'm here for it. But in terms of his size, which I know some of you guys might get on here and say, well, we don't need another 5'11 guy. We don't need another 5'10 guy. We need those 6-footers. We need the guys that are 6'1", 6'2". Okay, I agree with you a little bit, but those guys aren't always readily available. And Alabama even has 5'10", 5'11 safeties and cornerbacks. Just saying. So, looking at his film here, you can see Jaydan Hardy right there in the middle of the field. Deep safety. Look at that. He's got the speed, able to break tackles. Now, it's important to note, he played special teams here. Probably won't play special teams for the University of Oklahoma. But he can play a little bit of the offensive side of the ball. That's a good thing. You like those guys that are athletes that can play both sides, or, they're multi-sport athletes, which I believe, if I'm correct, and let me look it up while you guys are watching this film, I believe Jaydan Hardy is a dual sport athlete. Yes, he is. He plays track and he competes in track and field. So, loving it. All right, here we go. You can see him out there orchestrating the defense. Just reading the quarterback, eyes on the quarterback, knows where his man is at. And they're showing a lot of offensive highlights here. But what's one thing that you love about your safeties and your corners? Knowing how to play the offensive side of the ball and being a receiver. Does anybody know? Well, and the big part of it is they know how to catch the ball. So, interceptions, a lot easier for those guys than somebody who hasn't played that side of the ball, maybe doesn't know how to catch the ball. Kind of like it. They kind of put him in that wildcat formation. He's showing off a little bit of speed there, just a little bit of speed. Hey, you know what? Maybe if we just end up with no quarterbacks again like we did last year, maybe Jaydan Hardy could be a guy that could play quarterback for the University of Oklahoma. I was really hoping we could get down to some defensive plays. Let me go and look, see if we can get some defensive plays real quick. Here we go. Immediately to the ball. Brings him down. Love to see it. And of course, we're back to an offensive play. If you guys are sitting here laughing at me, do not be laughing at me. This is not funny. This is not funny. All right, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. He's just got an eye for the ball. He's got an eye for the ball. Got a good IQ. All right, he's playing the deep safety here. Immediately comes up the field to make the tackle. He wasn't under the assumption that his teammates were going to get it. So anyways, Jaydan Hardy. One of the things that I love looking at his statistics, he's able to create pass breakups. Not afraid to get up there, play with the best of them, and try to keep the wide receiver from getting the ball. I think that's something that Oklahoma has missed for quite a long time. Safeties and corners that are not afraid to try to make that play and compete with the best of them. And I think that's someone that you're going to have in Jaydan Hardy. But who are the Oklahoma Sooners potentially looking at outside of Jaydan Hardy, not only at the safety position and Jeremiah Newcomb at the cornerback position, but who else are they looking for in the defensive backfield? Well, I have to mention the five-star cornerback, Kobe Black, because it seems like Oklahoma's in a good position there. And if you're able to land him, well, in a season where you're going to lose Key Lawrence, Woody Washington, you're potentially going to lose Kendall Dolby, depending on how well he plays. Yeah, you're going to need to replace your corners. You're going to be losing Reggie Pearson at the safety position, which we've already got Makari Vickers. You've got Peyton Bowen. You've got Robert Spears-Jennings. So the talent in the future looks bright at the safety and the cornerback position for Oklahoma. But when you look at the safety, you could be eyeing five-star safety KJ Bolden. That would be really interesting if the Oklahoma Sooners were actually able to pull that one off. At one point, there was a really good feeling that Oklahoma was in a good position there. I don't think Jordan Johnson-Rubel is a take anymore since you have Jaydan Hardy. I mean, I feel like Oklahoma would take him, but I don't know if Jordan Johnson-Rubel is going to end up picking the University of Oklahoma. That's kind of why I say that. But you have Eli Bowen out there. So Eli Bowen, he'll always be a take. Michael Patterson McDonald out of Westmore High School in Oklahoma City, best friends with David Stone. That will also be another guy that is a take for the University of Oklahoma. So when you ask about the cornerback and the safety position, I think Oklahoma's fine just because that room already is so deep. I mean, if you guys got a chance to watch the spring game, then y'all know about Josiah Wagner. You got to see the hype and what everybody else was talking about with that kid. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are on Jaydan Hardy. Are you excited about this recent commitment? And do you think Jaydan Hardy will be a guy that plays significant time for the University of Oklahoma?